Hello everybody, my name is Kogus, and we're going to be covering the utilities that you should be using as a Vengeance Juggernaut in ranked PvP. The first utility that you want to take is going to be Payback. The reason you want to take Payback is because it reduces the cooldown of Unleash by 30 seconds and causes Unleash to heal you for up to 10% of your maximum health when used. This makes your Unleash, your CC break, one of your stronger abilities, an even stronger one, and can help you in a clutch moment when you need that extra 10% to stay alive just a little bit longer. The next utility I'm going to discuss is Warmonger. It is the first multi-layered utility I'm going to discuss. Warmonger's description reads, getting attacked reduces the active cooldown of Force Charge by 1 second. This effect cannot occur more than once every 1.5 seconds. This is specifically useful for Vengeance Juggernauts because in their discipline path at level 48, they gain access to Brawn, which is Force Charge grants Brawn, providing immunity to interrupts, stuns, knockbacks, and incapacitating effects for 4 seconds. Additionally, during this time, damage reduction is increased by 20%. This is very useful for them because they are one of the earlier targets, and getting a damage reduction of 20% can definitely help them survive much longer. With this utility and the passive effect from your discipline path, it is definitely very advantageous for Vengeance Juggernauts to leap as often as possible in ranked PvP matches. The next utility I recommend using is Pulled Hatred. Whenever your movement is impaired, you gain a 10% damage bonus to your next ability that consumes range. This effect can stack up to 5 times and last 15 seconds. This is a small to large damage boost for being slowed. The first utility in Masterful that should be taken is Unshackling Rage. Unshackling Rage purges movement impairing effects and increases your movement speed by 50% for 6 seconds. This is going to make Enrage one of the first moves that you use in order to break a route so that you do not just sit there and take damage from your enemies during a match. The next ability inside of Masterful that you should use is Hardened Defense. Hardened Defense is activated by your Threatening Scream. For Vengeance and Rage, all area effect damage is reduced by 60% for 15 seconds after Threatening Scream is activated. This in turn changes your Threatening Scream into another multi-layered ability. Not only is it going to be an AoE taunt on your enemies, but it is going to be an AoE damage reduction during the cleave fights that you cannot avoid in ranked matches. The last utility that you should take in Masterful is going to be Through Power. Through Power is a passive ability activated by your Enraged Defense. It increases your movement speed by 50% and grants immunity to movement impairing effects while active. If you have a dot ticking on you, this utility allows you to essentially kite and heal at the same time. Next, in the heroic utilities, you should be taking Through Passion. Through Passion reduces the cooldown of Enraged Defense by 30 seconds. It goes from a 2-minute cooldown to 1 minute and 30 seconds. When you combine Through Passion with Grit Teeth for Juggernauts, you can reduce that defensive cooldown even more. Grit Teeth's description states, the active cooldown of Enraged Defense is reduced by 2 seconds when you are attacked. This effect cannot occur more than once per second. Combining Grit Teeth with Through Passion will reduce your cooldown of Enraged Defense to every 45 seconds if you are constantly being attacked, which means potentially every 45 seconds you have a heal to full available to use. The next utility you should use is Through Victory. It is when Mad Dash can be used while immobilized. It purges movement impairing effects while activated and deals 50% more damage. Additionally, the cooldown of Mad Dash is reduced by 10 seconds. This utility can be very useful in several different ways. First off, as it first states, it can be used while immobilized so you can break routes with it. This will allow you to either run away from the people attacking you, or you can leap back in and get some damage reduction from your Brawn. Deciding between leaping back in or kiting would be based on 2 things. First, your health, how much damage can you continue to take, and the second I would say would be your Enraged Defense. If you have Enraged Defense up, I would leap back in, and if your health is low, use your Enraged Defense as soon as you leap. However, if you have low health and you do not have Enraged Defense, use Mad Dash and continue kiting until you can get that ability back. The last utility you should be taking in Heroic should be Thrown Gauntlet. This is going to be another multi-layered utility, as there are 2 things affected on here that are really good for you. The first is that Intimidating Roar is going to be reduced by 15 seconds. The reason this is important is that I personally really like Force Bound, which 4P set bonus is that enemies affected by your intimidating roar have their force and tech accuracy reduced by 70% for 6 seconds after intimidating roar wears off. This means not only can they be incapacitated or out of the fight for 6 seconds, but for 6 seconds after intimidating roar, they have reduced damage output. The second part of this utility is going to be the saber throw immobilization of the target for 3 seconds. This part of the utility allows you to have your saber throw as an offensive ability or defensive ability. You can use it to root the target you are trying to chase down, or you can use it to root somebody that is chasing you down in order to stay alive long enough to get your enraged defense back up, which will let you re-engage the fight and win the match. These are the best utilities for Vengeance Juggernauts to use in solo ranked PvP. Please leave a comment below, and if you have different thoughts on the utilities, which ones would you swap out for and why?